All right. Hello, I see someone has entered. How are you this afternoon? Where are you from? Oh, hi, Jacqueline. How are you? Oh, from Brooklyn. Have you tried our products, right? I think I remember the name. Hi, Yolanda. How are you? Where are you from? Oh, Michigan. Yay, Michigan in the house. Oh, yep. So I thought I did remember you, Jacqueline. Good. Michigan. What part of Michigan? I'm in Detroit. Hi, everyone. Let me know where you're from. I don't know if you all know, but I'm from Detroit. I was born and raised here. I wish I didn't live here now because it's freezing. Oh, Grand Rapids. So you're probably colder than us. We got a warm break for a minute and then it got back cold. California, Northern. Wow. How are you doing, Angeline? Columbia. How are you doing, Adra? Oh, it's but still chilly. Yeah, I can imagine. From Chicago, nice, Viola. And y'all are probably cold, breezy. I know during, these colder months, Chicago, that wind really gets you. It bites into your skin. Good, I'm glad to hear it, Kadra. Hey, Jasmine, Michigan in the house. Hey, Samantha from Milwaukee. So I'm glad it's cold there. Yeah, it's pretty cold. I could imagine Chicago. I never traveled to Chicago when it's cold. Guys, I am glad you all have entered. This, I don't know if you all had attended. We did, I think, two other webinars, and that may have been like 2 years ago. So we have not did this in a while. Hey, Kathleen, how are you? And so I am glad you all are attending. I know it's a Saturday at 3. I'm like, we were trying to figure out the times. Like, is 3 a good time? Is it not? But since it's the winter time, it's like you stay in the house or you go eat or something. So I'm glad you all have are attending. I am probably going to get started in like a minute or two. I know Brian, that's my husband, saying hi to everyone. He's in the background. So once I go into presentation mode, you all won't see me, and I will be able to see if you all have questions, but he'll be interacting with you all. So if you have anything to ask, he'll be there waiting for you all. Hey, Jasmine. So but as I was saying, I'll get started like in a minute. When we first started, people, they wanted us to start on time. They say, we're here, let's get started. So I don't want to keep you all waiting. So, I want to kind of get started. I'll probably wait till 3:03 and then we'll jump into the presentation. But I'm glad you all have made it. If you are new and don't know about EverButter, I am Kambari Owens. I am the co-founder. My husband Bryant, we are partnering together. We started doing this together. I make the products, and he kind of does all of the business. Well, not kind of. He does do the business stuff. And we started in 2014, January 2014, and so we're moving along, trying to really get out there now, really making it known. If you follow us on Instagram, we've been pumping out content and information and just trying to be really give a lot of resources, a lot of information, because even though it's a lot of information out there, sometimes it's not the right information. So we want to be sure that we give out the right information and help you all along the journey. Hello, I see we got some new people who joined. Hello, I was just introducing myself. I am Kumbari Owens, the host. And so we are just trying to establish ourselves as just being a healthy hair company, because if you have healthy hair, then it's going to grow and you won't really have to be concerned with it growing if you focus on the health. And that's where why we want to give out good products, because good products help the process. It won't help the whole process, but it will help the process. And so if you have good, healthy products, and it will definitely help you grow long, glorious hair. Hey, Celia, how are you? So that's my spiel. So I see more people are joining. And so, as I said, Brian, he'll be in the background. He'll be talking with you all, but I'm going to go into the presentation. So give me a minute. Usually, Brian, he can do all of this, but I am going to begin it. Okay, it's loading. Okay, so let me bring it over. Hold on, guys. My husband, he does all of this stuff. I kind of suck at it. And just so we can kind of save on the bandwidth, I am going to um, take my camera off of me, so you all won't see me while I present. But I will certainly come back, so hopefully you all don't disappear. And if you have questions throughout, feel free to ask, because I will be able to see the chat room. So feel free to ask, and then we'll have a question and answer session after I get through the whole presentation. So, all right, let's get started. And so, as I have mentioned, I am Kambari Owens. I am the presenter, the host, and this is the Moisture Master Class. And we are trying to moisturize your entire life. I have absolutely no idea if we can moisturize your entire life, but hey, put a little sparkle on it. So, we gotta certainly try, guys. So, let's get into it. Oh, hold on. Okay. So I am Kambari Owens, as I previously mentioned. I have been doing hair for about 20, 25, 26 years now. I started when I was very young. I have a family of 13. So out of those 13, five of them are my sisters. And so we all get our hair from my mom. My mom, when I say literally down her back, she always had long, long hair. And so I became interested in hair at a very young age. And I started doing hair when I was 10, and that just kind of went on into my college days, when I did hair in college, as a lot of black women do, just to survive, make money. And so I did hair throughout college. I was known as the traveling hair salon, because I actually went around to people's homes and did their hair. And so once I graduated, that kind of came to a halt. And so then I started developing hair products now for about 6 years now. And I started that out of a need for my daughter, because she was, if you've read my bio, you kind of know, but she was experiencing like severe dry scalp, dry hair. She profusely scratching her hair, had pus bumps. It was pretty bad. And so after doing so much research, I just started kind of making things myself, helping her with no intention of selling. I just had to help her, because the dermatologist wasn't they didn't really know. And so I just kind of took matters into my own hands, trying to help her scalp. So that's where EverButter grew into, but it all started because of her. As I mentioned, I'm from a family of 13. We all grew up in Detroit. I have 7 brothers, 5 sisters. I am number 5 from the youngest, number 9 from the top. Um, I ran with my older brother and younger brother. I was like kind of known as a tomboy, but yeah, that is me. I went to Southwestern High School in Detroit, and then I went on to Eastern Michigan University, and that's where I met my husband, Bryant. We both was in the electrical engineering program, and so we received our bachelor's in that. Both worked in automotive. I worked in for 10 years until I got let go because I was too much into EverButter at that time. So then he quit uh, last year because we wanted to pursue EverButter a little bit more, and he really couldn't focus on allowing us to grow if he continued to work. So he left his job last year in September, and so now we're both doing this full time. As I said, I was born and raised in Detroit. We have been married. We're coming on our 10-year anniversary in April now, and we still have 3 children. We are not trying to have any more. So we have 2 boys and a girl. That's Bryant, if you have not seen him. But he does all the business stuff. He's always right there, even if he's not in the pictures. He is always there or working on the behind the scenes things and stuff. And there are my children. They were, I don't even know how old they were. I think this was 3 years ago. So my oldest is in the middle, Clarence, my youngest boy, Carter, and then our daughter, Carrington. So yeah, I think this was 3 years ago. They're quite bigger than that now. So, but how old are they now? They are 11. Carter just turned 9, and Carrington is 6. No, I'm sorry, 7. She'll be 8 in September. And so we're going to just jump right into the presentation. So I don't want this to be long because I know this is a Saturday and you may have some things to do. So I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as possible. And if I did not cover anything that you wanted me to cover, feel free at the end to ask as many questions as you need. I will be able to answer those for you. So we're talking about moisture, and the first thing that I want to get into is how well do you know your porosity? And throughout the years, I think maybe over the past 2 years, porosity has kind of started to be a part of the chat because people have been figuring like, okay, I do everything to my hair. I believe I do everything right, but my hair still isn't moisturized. And people were talking about your curl pattern and things that really does not determine how well your hair is moisturized, the texture and all of that stuff. None of that stuff matters. The only thing that kind of is up there is the porosity of your hair, because this is how well your hair can accept moisture. So if you never heard of porosity, that it is the level at which your hair can absorb moisture. And some people have a hard time absorbing moisture, and some people have an easy time accepting moisture, but sometimes it's easy. And even though it's easy, it kind of goes out of your hair just as quick as it came in. So I want to talk about these two for a minute and tell you what they are. If you've never heard of them, you may have heard of them, and hopefully you do know your porosity. And if you don't, that's okay because it's easy to figure out. So low porosity is when your hair cuticle lays flat and it's hard for you to accept moisture because of your hair cuticle is laying flat. It doesn't open as easily. And with low porosity, you want to kind of use certain products and treat your hair in a certain way. But low porosity is genetic. This is something that you can't change. So you can't go from low porosity to mid to high porosity. Well, you can go to high porosity, but low porosity is not something you can change. You can change the high porosity, but you can't change low porosity. If you have low porosity, you will always have low porosity. Now, high porosity on the other end, sometimes it's genetic, but most of the time it is how you treat your hair. So, um, if you dye your hair and if you relax your hair, you instantly change your hair to high porosity. High porosity is when your hair cuticle is open all the time. It's very hard for you to close it. And in the summer months, you may get a lot of frizz, like overboard frizz, like you see the picture with this girl, her hair is just frazzled. And a lot of the time, it is how you treat your hair. Like I said, dye hair really is, um, it changes your hair to high porosity, and it's kind of like it's damaged for the most part. Your hair is damaged, and the reason it's damaged is because you have no protein, and protein is the structure that holds your hair together. And if you don't have protein, you cannot absorb moisture as well. And I think I don't talk about dye a lot because a lot of people dye their hair, and I don't want to offend anyone saying, well, you're wrong, because you can do whatever you want to your hair, but I just want people to know the consequences of what you do. And sometimes you may not care, like, well, I love my dye, so I'm going to keep it dyed. But I just want you to be aware that this is what it is, because long ago we thought relaxers were good, and then it started causing a whole lot of issues with women body. And so if we are aware, if we know better, I always feel like we can do better. And so with dye, your hair, you lose your protein completely. And that's the same when you relax your hair, you lose your protein completely. And it's a constant battle of you trying to keep that protein balance inside of your hair strand. So that is the difference between low and high porosity. So you can have low porosity hair normally, but if you dye your hair, you will change it instantly to high porosity. And if you relax it, you will change it instantly to high porosity. Another thing that can change it to high porosity is just the way you handle your hair. So you may not have a great regimen. You may not do much to your hair. You may comb it, brush it abrasively, and or maybe apply heat to it a lot, uh, be it blow drying or flat iron it. Those are things that you can do to affect the porosity level or make it high porosity. And so if you want to know your porosity, how can you test it? And you just get a cup of water, and it doesn't matter, lukewarm water. Take a couple of strands of your hair, clean hair. You have to make sure it's clean. If it's dirty, you will get like a false positive, and usually it'll go straight down to the bottom, which means you have high porosity hair if you have product on it. So make sure it's clean so you don't think that it is high porosity. After like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, all the product will rinse off, and it'll show you what your true porosity is. But just in case, just make sure you do it on clean hair. So if it floats, that means you have low porosity hair. And if it goes to the middle, it's kind of regular, normal, whatever that means. And then if it goes straight to the bottom, you have high porosity hair. And which makes sense because if it goes to the bottom, that means your hair is absorbing a lot of moisture. And if it stays at the top, it's not absorbing that much at all. So that is a way that you can figure out if you have high or low porosity hair. So a very simple test. So ways in which porosity can be affected. So unhealthy hair and product usage. So I say unhealthy hair because if you have healthy hair, you won't have high porosity hair. And that's if it's not genetic. If it's genetic, you can't change it. But as I said, most of the time, high porosity is not genetic. It's something that you have done to your hair over the years, which made it high porosity, and it can be remedied. Low porosity can't be remedied. I have low porosity, but I have never had an issue with it, so I don't feel like it's kind of an issue. But some people have an extreme case of low porosity where it's very hard for them to put moisture into their strands. And we're going to get into the whole regimen, but I'm kind of just introducing it to you right now. So, unhealthy hair, and if you follow a good regimen, you will get to healthy hair, and then product usage. So with low porosity hair, I'm going to go through what kind of products you would want to use for low and high. So let's start with low. Low porosity hair, you want to find things that are high in humectants because you want to draw moisture to your hair. You also want to stay away from things that are heavy. So, like shea butter, coconut oil, hemp oil, avocado oil, castor oil. These are kind of the heavier oils and butters that sometimes, if they're applied by itself, so let's just say you bought some shea butter and you're just applying that to your hair. You spritz it with water and you're just applying the shea butter to your hair and you have low porosity. It will just sit on top of your hair because one is not mixed with any humectants or anything to allow it to help absorb into your hair. And so it's just going to sit there. And a lot of people with low porosity, you may experience product build up a lot. You may say, geez, I, put this product on and it's not doing anything. It's just sitting there and you never knew why. And that's why, because your hair cuticle is not opening enough to receive the moisture. So you do want to use things that are high in humectants, that has a little bit more of a higher pH. So higher pHs usually are moisturizing sprays, leave-in conditioners, moisturizers, and butters. They have a lower pH, but you can get away with using the moisturizers if they have a high humectant count in it. So I use all of the above in my hair, and I told you I have low porosity, and I love it for my hair. But those who may be like on a lower level, you may not like those butters and oils for your hair. So it's kind of like a balancing act for those with low porosity. You kind of have to test the water, see what work and what don't work, and go from there. So now let's go to the product use. Oh, I didn't mention with protein. So protein with low porosity hair, your hair, since your hair cuticle is closed, the protein is kind of bound in your hair strand. And so you kind of have an abundance of protein, but not moisture. And so you may feel like your hair is kind of brittle a lot. So if you use products that has a high content in protein, you may feel like your hair is getting dried out and brittle. So beware of products that have a lot of protein in it because your hair can end up being hard and brittle and break off. If you do use protein, and it's not bad to use protein with low porosity hair, you just have to make sure you balance it out with using high rich moisturizing ingredients in there as well. So just make sure you have a good balance with protein and moisture if you do use protein. So for high porosity, you want to use products that are high emollient, which is moisturizing, very moisturized. You want to use the heavier oils and butters. You want to use protein every day, because the thing when you use products with protein in it, it doesn't stay. It can't stick there, and so it comes off, and so that's why you should use it every day, because you don't have any protein in your hair until you grow it out, but you don't have any protein in your hair, or it's hard to maintain. Oh, I said if you grow it out, that's if you have dyed hair or relaxed hair. But if you have high porosity that just comes from damaged hair, you just have to follow a good regimen, and then your hair cuticle will repair itself. So, but you have to use protein almost every day. And so those are the things that you kind of want to lead to using the and then also the lock method. And so for those who are not familiar with the lock method, is how you apply your moisturizer. So you'll use the L stands for leave-in, but you can also use water or whatnot. The O is an oil and the C is cream. So right after you apply your leave-in, you'll put on an oil on top of that, and then on top of that, you'll put on your cream, which is most of the time a styler, and then you'll style your hair. And those three things will ensure that your the moisture is sealed in, that your cuticle is laying flat like you want it to be, so the moisture will not get out and stays in. Um, and I think just with the unhealthy hair, I think I cover everything, but you also want to make sure that you just follow a strict regimen, because when you follow a regimen, you're able to kind of combat the issue a little bit. So let's go for. Oh, hold on, husband. Oh, okay. He turned on the chat for me. I'm sorry, guys. So let me read some of the questions if you all have it. Oh, Angeline said, what is a humectant? So humectants, I'm sorry. I just be spitting out things, not realizing. Humectant is kind of a vegetable glycerin, honey, sometimes aloe vera gel can be a good humectant. These are all things that draws moisture into the hair. So you can look for those things on the ingredients list when you're buying products and usually people will label their ingredients from the highest content to the lowest content. So water most of the time is always number one, and then you go through that, and if they have like vegetable glycerin, so let's just say you're trying to stay away from humectants and vegetable glycerin is like number two on that list, you may not want to buy that because the content in humectants is really high. Annie, you said I finally did a blow dry on Wednesday and added a shea butter oil mix I made. Yes, it's sitting on top. Yeah, so you probably have low porosity hair. Yolanda, you said I follow a weekly and daily routine. I wash and deep condition once a week. Oh, good. Very good. Is hydrolyzed protein easier for low porosity hair? So hydrolyzed protein, some of them are really good for low porosity. The one that's really good for low porosity is silk amino acid. That's something we use in our conditioner. Hydrolyzed wheat protein is one of the higher proteins, more of the harder ones. And so you may want to use that minimally, but it's not bad for your hair. Just make sure you use it with a good oil mixture. We have one that has a good oil mixture to protein content, and it helps regardless. I use it for my hair and my hair doesn't get dried out. Just make sure that you have a good moisture content when you use the hydrolyzed wheat protein. Silk amino acid, that's kind of like it's a protein, but it's not as harsh. And so it's a little lighter than hydrolyzed wheat protein. But both of them are really good. Just have to make sure that you use them always with good moisture balance. Because even if you have low porosity, you can use a protein every week. You just don't want to use it every day, but you can use it every week as long as you're, compensating with moisture. So our next slide, if I answered everyone's question. Oh, what is the name of your product that you use for low porosity? Oh, it's called Coconut Cream Pie. That is the deep conditioner, and it has silk amino acid in there. Oh, you're welcome, Jacqueline. So, how climate change can affect the hair. So, if you live like in Michigan, one of the northern states, the winters are quite brutal on the hair. And so when you're going through trying to accommodate each season, you kind of want to start doing certain things to your hair. So in the wintertime, it dries out your hair. The climate will completely dry your hair out because um, when you have dry air, water, things that, it wants to hydrate or attract to those things that are dry. And so that's why the moisture comes out of your hair because of the dry air. And so if you don't moisturize properly during the winter time, you will end up with a lot of split ends and breakage. And so it's very important. And I don't really recommend doing wash and goes during the winter either because of like if you walk outside with wet hair, that cold air is going to attack your hair and dry it completely out. So you don't want to walk outside with wet hair. Um, and then in the opposite end of that, in the summertime, it is high humidity and you have a lot of moisture coming to your hair, and so sometimes you want to change out your products just to accommodate these things. So when it's a high humidity in the air like in the summertime, you want to use product maybe with not so many humectants, and those are people probably with mid to high porosity hair. You want to come down on the humectants because, as I said, humectants draw moisture to your hair, and so all of that moisture in the air is coming to your hair, and then you end up with a big poof. So you may want to not use so many humectants in the summertime, but those with low porosity hair, you may love the humectants in the summertime because moisture is coming to your hair, and that's what you want. You want moisture. And I know my hair loves the summertime. My hair gets full and fluffy. I absolutely love the summer for my low porosity hair because of the moisture level. So, and I use humectants a lot in the summer just so I can get that full look because I do not get that full look in the wintertime. But in the summer, that's when I shine. So, um, in the winter, though, you may want to use humectants. So those with high porosity, you may want to use humectants, and those with low porosity may not want to use humectants. But it's kind of like not saying for sure you have to do this. Kind of test it out, see what works and what doesn't work, and then you can kind of figure it out from there. Like I found out that I love using the butters. Like we have a Genesis butter, it doesn't have any water or anything in it. It does have a little bit of honey, which is a little bit, humectant in it. And so that butter really helps my hair in the wintertime keep it moisturized. And I use that all winter long. But some people may not like the heavier butter in the winter, and so they use something like more of a cream, like something that's more creamy. So just test it out to see what your hair likes and see how it responds. In the summer months, I like to use, as I said, I like to use humectant. So I use the creams and the butters in the summertime that has high humectant so my hair can be full and fluffy. Jacqueline, you say this will be my first summer. Uh, oh, good luck. That's good, but also be aware. So, if this is your first summer being natural, then you may find it a little difficult with the humidity. You may have a fight with the humidity. So, you may try to just work out with products, trying to find out which will give you, the curl that you want. Because if you're not looking for the fro, you may want to stay away from humectants and try to, get things that are will stick to your hair and maybe seal the hair cuticle down a little bit. So that is how you can accommodate with the product change. And you also, so I always tell people because they want to know how often should I get a hot oil treatment? How often should I do a protein treatment? And hot oil treatments, I say go with the rule of thumb, do them maybe 4 times a year, and that's every time the season change. And this way you can be sure that the moisture, you're really getting proper moisture balance in your hair because you don't need to do them every 6 weeks. We already use products that are rich in butters and oils. If you use natural products, the products have good butters and oils. So doing a hot oil treatment is not you don't have to do them as often. Like when we relaxed our hair or straightened, the rule was do it every 6 weeks. And it made sense because we were using flat irons to dry out our hair. We were using blow dryers, and then we also was relaxing. So all of these things was taking moisture out of our hair. And so we should have been doing the hot oil treatments and protein treatments every 4 to 6 weeks. But now that we are natural and we don't, do the flat iron and blow drying all the time, we don't have to do hot oil treatments as much. Now, unless you are one to, sit under a dryer or blow out your hair a little bit, you may want to use a hot oil treatment a little bit more and a protein treatment a little bit more. But if you don't, then I would say do these when the seasons change, and probably in the wintertime, if you have harsh winters, maybe do a hot oil and protein treatment 2 times during the winter months. And doing these helps to shield out the cold air and helps to protect your hair strands. And so, if you don't like doing them any other time, just make sure you do it in the winter time just to give yourself a little extra moisture. Yes, froze are pretty sweet. They don't look right on me, but I have seen some women definitely rock the fro, and I'm like in awe of them. So, that goes over that. So let's go to the next. Hold on for a sec. Oh, it is time for a giveaway, guys. So you will get our love box, and this is our moisture retention line. Check the chat box to see if you won. And this has 6 products in it. So you get our shampoo, you get our coconut cream pie conditioner, and these are all in 2-ounce sizes. So this is our Love Box Small. You get our Lovely Curl spray, our leave-in, a Genesis butter, and our Buttermint Smooth and Moisturizing Cream. So hopefully you won. And of course, we'll mail it out to you. You just got to give us your address and everything. So let's go move on. So, ways to improve the scalp health. So, as we've been discussing porosity and starting a healthy regimen, your scalp is the number one thing you want to pay attention to. So, first thing I want you to notice or take notice to is your root. Touch your root of the hair and see if your roots are dry, because if your roots are dry, that is an indication that your hair is dehydrated. Even though your hair strands, like the length of it, may not feel dry, if your roots are dry, that means that you are not getting enough moisture into your hair. And if you are battling with dandruff or anything, that is a telltale sign that something is going wrong in your regimen or in your diet. So the first thing I have on there is changing your diet, because if you do have dandruff, that is an indication. It starts from the inside of your body. It's something going on in the inside. So drinking more water, cutting out some of the drinks, coffee and pop and all of that stuff, because these things dry your body out completely. So coffee, pop, what else? Where's the other one? Oh, alcohol, like, wine. My sister, she loves wine. She will never give up her wine, but she does drink a lot of water. So, I've heard that for 1 cup of coffee or pop, you have to drink 8 cups of water just to compensate that 1 cup of water, plus drink your regular 8 cups of water. So you kind of want to cut that out of your diet first, because those things really get in and dry your body out completely. And so after you start changing that over, just start eating more of the whole foods and less of the packaged foods. I was reading that when you do eat packaged foods, it kind of goes in your body and it kind of doesn't digest well. And so if it doesn't digest well, it's just sitting in your body and it's taking up space and not allowing you to get the nutrients that you need. And so if your body is not getting enough nutrients, that means your scalp isn't getting enough nutrients, which means your hair isn't getting enough nutrients. So cutting that out and then eating more of the whole foods and the veggies, fruits, nuts, and all of that stuff will help you tremendously. And I see the drinking clean water question mark. So I say this because sometimes faucet water is not the best water, and I kind of changed drinking. I do have a filter on our faucet and on our refrigerator to kind of clean out, filtrate it, because a lot of these waters, I know here in Detroit, they really pump it up with metal. So a high metal content in your body, again, it kind of what you call it, clogs up the arteries and everything. And so you don't want to get these metals into your body, which is why it's important to use natural products too, because these metals are also in products as well. But on another note, we're talking about water, so I'm going to stick with water. So you kind of want to drink water. So I kind of changed over to drinking alkaline water, spring water, and again, purified water. We have a filtrate system on our faucet just to get out all of the dirty water. So drinking clean water, why I say it's important, because our body is 66, 70% of water content. And so if we're not drinking clean water, it does benefit us, but it's not benefiting as well. We're taking in these toxins through our water, and it's harming our body. So, and then if it's not, water is supposed to get in there and help to spread the nutrients across our body, allow our blood to pump, allow oxygen to get in, and all of that stuff. And if we are drinking kind of unclean water, it can't do its job completely. So just be aware of that. And so, Yolanda, you say you suffer from scalp irritations, but not necessarily dandruff. I've always just been told that I have sensitive scalp. I will get into that. I do have a slide on that. And Annie, you said water does make a difference. Yes, it does. So I am going to get into that, Yolanda, momentarily. It may be the next slide. And then scalp massages. So doing scalp massages does improve your scalp. So on the next slide, I'm going to go into more detail, but our scalp is connected to organs in our body, which I didn't know. After reading, I'm like, wow, this is like good stuff. But so doing scalp massage not only helps our scalp, but it actually helps our whole body. So doing them oil and not oil are really good. And if you do oil massages, maybe do them once a week, because the thing with our body, it gets used to things, and our body naturally produces oil. Our scalp naturally produces oil, sebum. And if we constantly are putting oil on our scalp, our body's going to send a signal like, okay, they got enough oil. We don't need to give sebum anymore. So your sebum will stop coming in abundance. And so you don't want to put as much oil, because you still want your natural oils to produce. And so that's why I say maybe do oil. I do a oil in the winter. In the summer months, I don't do oil massage at all. I don't apply oil to my scalp at all, because you got the sun and the humidity and the water and all of that stuff. But in the winter, since the air is a little more dry, I will put oil on my scalp midweek and then on wash day. And those are the only times I put oil on my scalp, and I'll massage it through. And so, and then doing non-oil massage is always good. You could do that every day. Demetri, you say your roots don't necessarily feel dry, but I do notice a lot of itchiness. Well, so the itchiness may come from a product that you are using. And so, and it could be irritating your scalp that way. So just look, maybe if you use, and most of the time it's the shampoo, or it could be an oil, because these are the only things that we kind of put directly on our scalp. So just check your shampoo to see if it or maybe stop, don't use it, maybe buy another shampoo and see how that makes your scalp feel. And if it's still itchy, if you put anything else on your scalp, don't use that, and see what it does. And if it stopped itching, then you know, okay, what's the product. But if you say, okay, I didn't change it out and I still have itchy scalp, then it could possibly come from your diet, because when my daughter, she used to have itchy scalp, but she actually had dandruff and everything that came along with it. So But and that was coming from her I had to change her diet plus the products that she used that was irritating. So things that can't irritate your scalp are dyes. So if you come across a product that has color in it, so you see a bright blue color in product, yeah, it's pretty, but those things will irritate your scalp and dry your scalp out. Another thing, fragrance. Fragrance and products can irritate your scalp as well because they are also drying, but a lot of times they're not natural, and so the fragrance will irritate it. And it depends on the preservative they use. I know that Johnson and Johnson they used to use a very harsh preservative, which was formaldehyde, and that's an embalming agent that they put in dead people, and it also causes cancer and a whole lot of other things. But these things can irritate your scalp. So if you use some of your products may include some of the fragrance dyes and all of that stuff, maybe stop using them and see what it does to your scalp. um for clarity, for winter months, is it 2 times a week that you use the oil? Yes, and it's in the winter I'll use the oil 2 times a week, and that's kind of like midweek after I wash my hair, and then like the when I wash my hair, I'll use oil on my scalp before I actually put my deep conditioner in. So after I wash it, I'll put oil on my scalp and then put in my deep conditioner. And let's see. Selena, you said, I'm finding that when I use conditioner, my scalp starts to itch. I just started using a conditioner on my hair and put oil on my scalp. And yes, that's a good thing to do because if you put the oil on your scalp, it will kind of help shield any product from getting on your scalp. And so just use the oil, and that's a good thing because I do the same thing. I'll put oil on my scalp and I'll just use the conditioner for the length of my hair because you really don't want to put too much stuff on your scalp because things can accumulate on your scalp and it can irritate it. And then on top of that, it can absorb into your body. And so you kind of want to not put so much stuff on your scalp. Um, Make sure, as I said, make sure your shampoo is a good natural shampoo because that's really the only thing that we do put directly on our scalp, and usually that's the thing that is drying people hair out, and they don't really notice because they say, well, I'm supposed to clean my hair, and they buy maybe the cheapest shampoos, but the shampoo can make or break your hair. So make sure that you use a really good shampoo that is natural and it's safe. It won't dry your hair out or anything. So we're going to go to the next slide. And this is what I was talking about. So scalp relationships to your organs. So I was talking about the itchy scalp, and if you have dandruff in certain parts of your hair, how uh, you could pinpoint it through your scalp. And so I used to get bad dandruff in the front of my head, and I didn't know why. I just thought that was normal. But I used to sit there and have a small tooth comb and scrape just the front of my hair, and it came back every day. But I still scrape the dandruff from the front of my head. So after I kind of changed diets, changed products and everything, I stopped getting dandruff. But when I was reading, I didn't understand that dandruff was actually telling me what my body was needing or what was wrong with my body. And so this is kind of to me gold. So this is good information for everyone to have. You can write it down. I will go through each of them and read it off to you, but it's really good for you to have offhand because just from your scalp you can say, oh shoot, my kidneys, I need to do something about my kidneys or eat something to help my kidneys. And so you let's get into how you can tell what's wrong with your organs just by issues that you may have with your scalp. You may say, I get eczema in the back of the nape of my neck, or I get bad dandruff in the crown or the front or the sides. You can actually pinpoint what organ is actually maybe not being such good health in your body, and then you can actually address it as you should. So the front of the head, the hairline, is connected to your excretory system. And this, oh, before I get into it, this is also why scalp massages is good because you're able to, help all of these organs. So, but your excretory system, the front of the head, the kidney, the bladder, and your sex organs. So, if you are having issue with the front of your line, you can kind of say, see that maybe your kidneys are not functioning as good, or your bladder, or your excretory system. And then on the side of your head, like right behind your ears, it's connected to your lungs, your large intestines, and your respiratory system. And then the top of your head, the crown of your head, is connected to the blood, the circulatory system, your small intestines, and your heart. And then the side back of your head is related to your digestive system, your stomach, your side pancreas, and your spleen. And then the back of your hair or head, the nape of the neck, is the liver, connect to the liver and the gallbladder. And so you can use this as an indication. So you may say, okay, well, I know all of this information, but how in the world do I go about helping these organs out? And it's really just about, just doing a little bit of research. I had I'm actually, well, my husband, I'm not publishing, I wrote it, but my husband, he's going to publish the book that I just wrote is called Healthy Hair, or How to Take Care of Your Hair the Easy Way. And I actually go through a lot of flushes and detoxes that I did just to get my body into a healthy state. And so, and when I started, eating better and then actually doing these flushes, that's when I actually noticed that my scalp issue actually went away. Like I stopped having dandruff. I mean, it comes when my hair is really dirty. I need to wash it, but I stopped having dandruff and everything. So it does really help. So I started doing. So if you like say, okay, I do know I do have an issue on the top, and it's always been that way. How can I resolve this issue? You could start doing, look up in Google, YouTube, how to do a detox for the kidney, how to do a detox for the stomach or whatever. And that, you can find some recipes and start, doing it that way. But do note that if you're not going into the direction of eating better and just do a detox here and there, it's not going to really help you. So you kind of want to be on a path of eating right and, slowly but surely doing detoxes. I started doing detoxes and flushes when I first started my journey into going plant-based, and that was 2 years ago. And I'm actually still doing detoxes and flushes now, but I started doing them then, and I am starting to see a big difference in just my hair, the health of my hair, and then the health of my body. So this is just, some good information that you may want to take with you. And let me make sure I don't have any questions. No. Oh, Karen, you said, are your products designed to support the different porosity? Yes, they are. So we do have high porosity bundles and we have low porosity bundles. So we do have products that can support both of them. And then our Morning Joy shampoo, it is a very gentle shampoo. We don't have any fragrance or dyes or anything in there. It's a low foaming shampoo, but it does really clean your hair really well. Okay, so now you say, okay, we went through all of this. How can I start a healthy regimen? And so to me, this is like tried and true. If you incorporate certain steps into your weekly and your wash day regimen, you will for sure get to that healthy hair aside from like your diet. Like, if you start taking these steps, like before I even started going into my diet, really diving deep into my diet, when I started doing adding these different things into my regimen, I saw a big difference with just the health of my hair. And so when you start doing these things, you will see it's kind of like tried and true. These are the things that will help your hair get to good to great or bad to great. So just incorporating these things. So I'm going to explain each of them right now. So Pre-condition, pre-treatment, pre-wash, they call them by different things, but they're all the same thing. You're just applying a oil or moisturizer to your hair before you actually wash your hair. And this is actually good for before you go swimming as well, because when you apply these things to your hair before you wash, it's kind of has a barrier and protection. So you have a barrier on your hair strand. So a shampoo generally in nature will dry out the hair strand. And if you put the pre-treatment on before you actually shampoo, the shampoo will take off what it doesn't need. So all the dirt, grime, and all of that stuff, and leave, your natural oils that you have. And so that's I always recommend a pre-treatment because it helps. And then, like I mentioned, swimming. So with our hair, it can only absorb so much moisture. Once it reaches that limit, no more moisture is going in. And so when you um, put on a treatment on your hair before you go swimming as well, the chlorine will not penetrate your hair strand because you have already put its maximum moisture in there. So just a tidbit of information going off the subject. If you do like swimming or go on swimming for vacation or something, do a pre-treatment. And you could either use coconut oil. People use coconut oil or a conditioner that they already have, or a specified pre-treatment. And so that's always good to put on your hair before you wash. It helps to detangle. It helps to strengthen and moisturize your hair. And then, so after you do the pre-treatment, you wash it, and then you go into the deep conditioner. Deep conditioners are very crucial to your regimen. A lot of people don't do them, but you are really missing out because deep conditioners are the only thing that will penetrate the hair strand and actually help repair it, because you are just coming down from washing your hair, which means your hair cuticle is open. And then the deep conditioner has a high pH level, which means that it is going into that hair strand and is able to penetrate and is able to repair it. So deep conditioners are really critical in your regimen, and you want to do a deep conditioner each and every time you wash your hair. So I wash mine every week and I deep condition every week. If you wash every 2 weeks, you should deep condition it every 2 weeks. So anytime you wash it, do a deep conditioner. Once you do your deep conditioner, before you go into the treatments, you want to do your leave-in. And so those are like the three steps that you always want to keep in your repertoire: a good pre-treatment, a deep conditioner, and a good leave-in. A leave-in actually helps to seal the hair cuticle and keeps it moisturized throughout the week. So using a good leave-in is really helpful. And then from there, you'll go into your styling moisturizer, and that seals in everything, and you go ahead and style your hair. Now, with the hot oil treatment and protein treatment, as I mentioned, you want to do these ever so often, like 4 times a year. In the summer, in the wintertime, you want to do it twice. So about 4 to 6 times a year, you want to do a hot oil and protein treatment. But who wants to do a hot oil treatment, then wait, rinse that out, do a protein treatment, then wait, rinse that out? Do it all together. It will not hurt you if you do it all together. So after you deep condition, I always recommend that's when you want to do your hot oil and protein treatment. You don't want to do it when your hair is dirty because your hair is not absorbing all of the nutrients. You want to do it after you deep condition your hair, after you wash your hair. After you wash it, then you want to do the hot oil treatment and protein treatment. Apply these in your hair. Um, Put on a plastic cap, let that sit for 20 minutes, and then you take that off, apply the deep conditioner on top of that. let that sit again for 20 minutes, and then you rinse everything out. So that helps you just save time doing it all together instead of doing it one by one. You'll be in the house forever if you're trying to do each one of these treatments one by one, sitting, for 40 minutes each. So do it all together and you'll save time and it helps. And so then after you do all the treatments, then you'll go into, the leave-in and the moisturizer. And so then with the weekly regimen, you want to, if you're like just starting out on building your healthy regimen and your hair is not quite where you want it to be, you would want, and then also if you wear your hair out every single day. So I only wear my hair out in the warmer months. I do not wear my hair out at all during the winter. It's always up, twisted up, because the moisture just comes out. It's just too brutal on my hair, so I never wear it out. But if you do, you want to make sure that every night you are remoisturizing your hair and doing maintenance twists. So maintenance twists are important because our hair is curly and our curl is going to do what it does best. Is going to reunite with the other curls, make friends with them. They're going to love up on each other, and it makes a whole lot of tangles. And so when you twist them at night, you reduce that, and then you wake up to refreshed hair and your curls still looking good. So remoisturizing at night every day. It may only take 15 to 20 minutes, but it really will help your hair with the moisture level, especially in the wintertime. It will really help, and especially if you're first starting out. So this is kind of like your regimen and what you would do weekly and every single day. So this is what we're offering. We always have an offer. You probably like, okay, you then gave me all this good information. I have bogus product. What can I do? And we're like, well, we got nothing for you, but we do have something for you. So we are offering our hydration bundle, and with our hydration bundle, you will get 6 products. So the things that I just mentioned previously, how to start your regimen, we are giving you those key products that we think will help you get you to your glorious hair. And so it's the step one when you do the pre-treatment, and this is our sweet pea pudding. It's a 5-in-1. You could use it for a leave-in, you could use it for a moisturizer, a deep conditioner, but we specifically made it for a pre-treatment. It has sweet potato infused in it, and sweet potato really helps with the oil production in your scalp with vitamin A, and then it also helps to detangle and moisturize. So that's our pre-treatment. And then after you wash it, you do your deep conditioner, which is our honeydew hydrator. This is a very thick, moisturizing deep conditioner. It has honey, which is a very good humectant. It has rose hip. Rose hip helps to strengthen the hair, helps give you shine. It has uka uba butter, which is a very it's a mild butter, but it's very repairing. So it helps to repair the hair. And then it has milk, not milk, rice milk in it. And rice milk helps to give your hair really good moisture, hydration. So with all of those things, this deep conditioner is really good to moisturize. And then from your deep conditioner, our leave-in, which is our chocolate souffle. Everybody loves our chocolate souffle. It's like a crowd pleaser. It has flaxseed gel in it and aloe gel in it. And so in the summer months, this could be like your one product that you can use because it can also give you definition and moisture. And then our moisturizer, which is our buttermint smoothie, you use that after you use your leave-in, and then it also can be used when you do your daily twist or your maintenance twist at night. And so this is a really good everyday moisturizer as well. And then our protein treatment, which is also is an oil treatment. No need to heat it up. So this has both. This I think I was mentioned this in the beginning. So our Sweet Velvet Strengthening Mist, it has hydrolyzed wheat protein in it, but it also has very good oils in it. And so those with high porosity hair would want to use this each and every day. So after you take your maintenance twist out in the morning, rub this on your hair just to keep your hair balanced with protein and moisture. And this will help your hair not poof out as much. And that's when you have high porosity hair. If you have low porosity hair, just use this for a protein or oil treatment, and you can even use it on your wash day, but you don't want to use this every day. And then our lovely curl moisturizing spray is good for your maintenance twist. So you could pair the buttermint smoothie and the spray together at night, spritz your hair with that, or you can spritz it with water, whichever you prefer. But the lovely curl is good. If you have low porosity hair, you could only use you could use that as your number one thing. Spritz it and then twist it. But if you have high porosity, you could pair that with the buttermint smoothie and do your twist at night. And so before I go on, I do want to show you one video because you say, okay, well, I never really heard of you. How do I know that your products work? And so it's two videos. They're very quick that I want to show you all of some people who have used it. And so, hold on, let me go. The first one is Michaelin.
I know wash day can be so horrible, but it can take you from drab to fab. So if you want to see how I wash my hair every wash day, stay tuned. First, I start off with cleansing my hair. I do not use shampoo, but I actually use my mixture of apple cider vinegar. I apply it to my scalp and I try to remove all of the dirt, and I also apply it to the length of my hair. I do have a video about this process, so I will link it down below, and I will also put it on the screen. And this is my hair after I let the apple cider vinegar sit and it's all rinsed out. Next, I'm going to use EverButter's Honeydew Hydrator. It's amazing and it's 100% natural. The link to all of the products I use will be in the description box below. But I just section my hair off into 4 sections and apply it all over my hair liberally. Lots and lots of product. You can already see my curls coming into formation. This deep conditioner is honestly amazing. Then after I'm done coating that section, I just put it in a bun, clip it, and continue on with the rest of my hair. When I'm done, I just take a little bit more product and put it all over places that I missed. And then you're going to take a plastic bag and put it over your head. If you have a plastic shower cap, that works too, but I didn't. So a plastic bag works just fine. Wrap that around your hair, and then we're going to leave it on for about an hour. This is my hair after I rinsed it all out. You can see my hair is curling and clumping together beautifully. Next, we're going to be using the Chocolate Souffle Leave-In Conditioner. I part my hair into 4 sections and I apply the leave-in conditioner liberally as well. I'm kind of heavy-handed with product, but it's okay. These are 100% natural products, so I don't mind putting a little bit extra. Then we're going to move on to the Buttermint Smoothie Moisturizing Cream and also the Genesis Butter Cream. I use both of these to help lock in that moisture for my leave-in conditioner and style my hair. I decided to do a flat twist out So I put on the smoothie and then I put on the Genesis butter on top of that. And this is my hair all flat twisted. Then I'm just gonna put my bonnet on and go to sleep, and hopefully it's dry in the morning. Then I'm gonna take the EverButter Spring Sensation Oil. This helps with growth and moisture. You're gonna apply it to your hands and then put it all over your hair just for some shine, and this helps minimize frizz when you're taking your style down. I'm also going to take some more oil and put it onto my fingertips, and this helps so when I'm taking down individual twists I can minimize the frizz as well. I separate from the top of the twist right where it comes off of my scalp, and then I continue to unravel the twist. You can feel the different sections that you use when you're flat twisting, so I just pull those sections apart. You can see where the sections are. And look at that definition. Now I'm going to take my trusty pick and pick out my style a little bit to give me some more volume. I start from the roots. I try not to disturb any of the curls, and you'll see me holding the curls out of the way while I pick the roots. And once you're done picking, you might find some chunks that are really big, but you just pull it and you can see where your hair naturally separates, and I just pull it apart. Usually with a flat twist I don't have to separate it that much. And that's it. Thanks for watching.
So I had a technical difficulty real quick. So I'm going to try and get back into it. Give me 1 minute. My screen on my computer had went out, but let me know if y'all can hear me. Can you all see me? Can you all see me, guys? Or hear me? Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I had an issue. Something happened with my screen. So anyway, I want to, oh, that was Michaelin. So it kind of disrupted my thoughts. So that was Michaelin. She was a YouTuber that we had, someone told us about. And so she wanted to review our products. And so she did. And she has actually high porosity hair. And with light colored hair, if you saw that she has light colored hair, sometimes you will have high porosity hair if you have naturally light colored hair. And so, but I did want to show you that. And so I want to go into our bundle, or back into our giveaway. And so this is, oh, so we're offering all of these products to get today, guys, and I hope you all can see it. We're offering all of these for $75 today. So originally it is 106, but we're offering it for $75 today. So that's 35% off, and it's only for today. So if you say you need these products, you know want it, go ahead, purchase it today, because it will only be on there today. And then you also get a book my book I wrote last year is called Your Best Hair Day Ever. And so I go actually into some of the health things that I was mentioning. And so yeah, so if you buy it today, then you can get all of that today. And it's also, of course, free shipping. So we have free shipping all this month. So if you don't purchase today, we still have free shipping, but you can only choose that today for that price today. And hold on one minute, my husband is doing something. Okay. And so yeah, so that's that. And so hopefully you do purchase today if you feel like you need it. Awesome. And then the book, it gives you more in detail what I was discussing today about, just the diet changes. It gives you building your regimen and all of that stuff. So it gives a lot more information that I kind of covered today, but some things that I did not cover. And then we have a giveaway again. So this is our growth box, and you get the whole line. So it includes 8 products. So it has our pre-treatment, it has a shampoo, a clarifying shampoo, a deep conditioner, oil. It has our spring sensation oil. So just for those who don't want a protein treatment, you could do an oil treatment, and you could do scalp massages with this oil. And then our sweet velvet strengthening mist with it, which is a protein treatment. And then our invigoration smoothing cream. So it's for your edges. A lot of women love this product because they have worn, extensions for so long that the front of their hair has actually came out. So they actually have, told me that they told me, like, I can't, vouch, but they told me that it actually has helped them, getting their hair back in the front. So it's not one of those products that will have you like slick Rick, but it is a very gentle smoothing cream for your front of the hair to get it nice and moisturized, but also smooth it back. And so, hopefully you won. So just look in the chat box to see if you won. And then now let's go into questions, guys. So, do you all have any more questions? Did I answer everything for you all? I am coming back. Hold on. Let me try and get it back in here. So, did I answer everything for you all? Can you all see me okay? Okay. So, Selena, you say you have very brittle hair. Would a protein treatment help me? So, your problem probably with the brittleness is just you actually building a good regimen. So, do you follow like a good regimen that I have to that I mentioned? And Yolanda, you say for your sealant, which is a good product for the sealant. So you could either use a spring oil, or you can use a butter, our Genesis butter. And we have, or a butter, like even if you don't have our butter, you could use a oil or a butter for a good sealant. Those are good sealants because they don't have any water or anything added to it. So it's really good at sealing in the moisture. And so, protein treatments, again, Selena, if you are still on here, if you don't have um, a good regimen, a good moisture regimen, then you should be, having a deep conditioner, doing an oil treatment, just trying to revive your hair back to its goodness, because the brittleness just may be coming from lack of moisture. And so you need moisture and protein. So start incorporating some of the things that I had mentioned, and I think you will see your hair kind of turn around. So, is there anything else that I did not cover that you all would like to know? Because, sometimes I don't, and some people may bring something to my awareness. So, if there's anything that I have not covered, then please let me know, and I can do my best to answer them for you. If not, guys, I'm gonna wait for a minute just to see if any other questions come through. But if there's no other questions, I do appreciate you all for tuning in. I really love teaching and just giving my thoughts and information about things that you may not have known. So if you would like to attend more of these classes, or if you think this would be good for your friend, we will be doing these every month. They will be live every month. We will have this on repeat though throughout the week. So if you want to re-listen or something that you didn't catch something, you can re-listen. And I guess that's it. You can also we have different ones. So we have a transitioning one, we have a big chop one if you're thinking about big chopping or you're transitioning, and then we have one more that I can't think of right now. But we have these classes. We'll be doing them live throughout the month. So if you have not gotten on our email list, do so because we send out the information every week, and we send out hair tips also. And so hopefully you can get to that. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I missed some questions. Angeline, should you do the pre-treatment before you go in the pool? Yes, do the pre-treatment before you go into the pool. So wet your hair down and put in your pre-treatment. And then I always like to braid it up because that helps to seal in the moisture and bind the moisture in good. So put it in a bun or a braid or something, and you'll be good before you go swimming. And then, once you're done, you could, wash your hair as normal. And then can you advise if you are a swimmer what you should do daily? So if you swim like almost daily, you should be pre-treating your hair every time you go swimming, and then also using a good clarifying shampoo. So the clarifying shampoo helps to take out all of the toxins that come from the chlorine and everything. So pre-treat your hair, then use a good clarifying shampoo, and then make sure that you deep condition it and put protein back into it just to get your hair back revitalized. You don't have to do the protein every time you go swimming or the deep conditioner every time, but if you apply if you make sure you pre-treat it, clarify it every time you wash, do some kind of condition to it, it'll be good. At the end of the week, make sure you do all the steps though. So do the protein, and this is since you swim, do the protein and oil treatments every week on wash day because your hair is going to get dried out since you swim almost every day. So doing that routine every week on wash day will help you throughout the week. When you're doing it, just do make sure you do the pre-treatment every time, wash your hair, and then apply a good a washout conditioner and leave in, and then style it from there. Or since you swim every day, just put it back in a ponytail and do the same thing tomorrow. So you don't have to be in depth when you go swimming daily, but you do want to make sure you wash the shampoo out. And then what's the difference between the deep conditioner and regular conditioner? So deep conditioners, a lot of them have more herbs, protein, and good rich oils and butters in them that will help penetrate the hair strand and help repair it. So that's the difference with just a regular washout and a deep conditioner. But a lot of conditioners have these things in them, and to make them a deep conditioner, you're just applying a plastic cap to your hair. And leaving it on for 30 to 40 minutes. And so that's kind of like the difference. Applying the plastic caps, and sometimes if you have low porosity hair, adding heat to it. So since I don't have an overhead dryer, I'll put on a hat and just to heat it up a little bit, and then it'll help be able to penetrate into the hair strand, and that helps really when you have low porosity hair, and both, but it really helps to open the hair strand when you add the heat to it. And let's see. I answered Jacqueline's Jasmine. Is it okay to use your oil every day to take down twists for low porosity hair? Just a tad bit. So to take down your hair, like in the morning, if you're doing your maintenance twist, taking those down. Just do a couple of drops. Not a lot of people, I say a lot of people like they spread it on thick. Just a couple of drops will do, and it works fine for low porosity hair. As I said, I got low porosity hair, and I think in the summer, like, well, right now I use Argenesis butter like nearly every day, and my hair, it really, sucks in the butter. And I guess because it's winter, why it helps so much, but it doesn't weigh my hair down. By the end of the week, I do have build up, but during the week it really helps. And so using a little bit of oil with low porosity is perfectly fine. And so that's Jasmine's question. I think I answered all the questions. Um, I think that's it, guys. So I thank you all again for coming, and hopefully, you all will tune in for our other classes. And for those who have not tuned in, who will be watching the repeat of this session, you will be able to get 15% off of your 15% off. And so you can get that whole bundle with 15% off. So even if you don't purchase it today, you can go in and use the coupon code hydration-deal15 and get 15% off of the hydration bundle. So that is that, guys. And so that is all I have for you today. And so I hope I answered everything and that this was very helpful, because that's the one thing I want to make sure that it's always helpful and that I'm helping you achieve your best hair day. So until next time, guys, I am going to sign off so you won't see me. But if you have additional questions, feel free to type them through and I can still answer you. All right, guys.